You're listening to Wholistic Wednesdays, bonus edition, your weekly podcast for all things holistic in the modern world. This episode, Amy and Shelly share a candid conversation about disassociation and dealing with trauma. As always, we hope this episode offers you hope, healing, and transformation. Let's join Amy and Shelly.
You see like Superman and Spider-Man and all that stuff. Okay, I like those because I think I grew up with those childhood Spider-Man and all that. In fact, Spider-Man's my favorite. And I still think that Superman's awesome too. I also think that who's the one with the what's his name? Um, who's the one that's underground in a cave? He's a Batman. So dude does not have any talent. He just has a lot of freaking money.
Right.
He's a superhero, yet he's lumped into there. So it's weird. Like the rules are like different and they're weird. So that's why I think I can't wrap my head around stuff like that because it doesn't really have like it's not black and white. And I'm mostly kind of a black and white person.
Yes, and I'm the opposite because I am not a black and white person at all. So I love the fantasy stuff, but my question is, do you think you disassociate a lot?
No,
Just in life in general?
no.
Okay, so like I do all the time. Like that's why I say I'm airy, I have to stay grounded, and I think that's why I like fantasy. Because it's easy for me to get lost in the movie. It's easy for me to get lost in that fantasy land while I'm watching the movie or reading the book. Like I'm totally engulfed in it.
I have a hard time just watching the videos for school because just in a little short amount of time, I'm like, yeah, there's about a million other things I could be doing.
Okay, so I have a different type of disassociation when I do that. The whole video plays and I can't tell you what I just watched because my mind was somewhere else.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I have to be interested in what it is, but if I am and I'm not like on my phone or anything, I can become so engulfed in the fantasy world because I'm able to disassociate, which I think the disassociation is probably like a trauma response, but I've just done it my whole life without knowing what I was doing. I start to understand it now, but I think that's why I asked you, like, if you disassociate, because that's what came to my mind. You can't get lost in that. His dad was this multimillionaire, and he has all this history. Like, he saw his mom and dad get killed, and how, like, I get more engulfed in the story, and you're more like, it doesn't make sense. I wonder if that's got anything to do with disassociation.
I don't know, because I know that from my trauma from my kid when I was a kid, I didn't really disassociate. I was like in the trauma too much. I was too like messed up in the muck and the mire of the sadness. It took me many years not to like feel sad about myself, sad about shit, sad about everything.
You're also a Sagittarius, which is an earth sign, so you're very grounded and very like in the moment, overthink, analytical.
Overthink. That is me. I should have a t-shirt.
I'm Gemini, I'm very airy, I can disassociate, go somewhere else, be in my head. I can like make you think I'm totally in talking to you and I'm like in my head somewhere. That's why I can have full conversations with people and can't tell you anything I talked about. But when my memory it's brought back to my memory by something maybe you would say, I can remember it. But if I said, oh yeah, I just got done talking to Shelly. What'd you talk about? I probably couldn't tell you. Like in just a normal conversation. But then later somebody could say something about essential oils and I'll be like, oh yeah, earlier when I was talking to Shelly, she said blah, blah, blah. It's really weird, right? I've been trying to be more aware of this kind of stuff and I just keep something in my mind just keeps bringing it back to disassociation. And since you're not like that, that's why I like to ask you questions. Because awareness is a big thing and like I'm still learning about that and how that affects me.
Well, you did that as a protection thing for yourself. I didn't really have to protect myself. I don't think as much that way. My pain was, I think I could just take my pain and set it over to the side.
Mhm.
if I needed to for whatever. I was also super extroverted, so I was like dancing and singing and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Da, 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 I don't have any pain. Da, 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 da,
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
so yeah, I would go from that to being like super depressed and in bed.
Mhm.
I think everybody learns how to handle trauma differently.
Yeah, I do. I think it's interesting how our astrological signs and our archetypes and just everything really plays into how we all process it too, because I know like different people with the same sign, and I'm able to recognize how they handle things kind of similar. We both carry that air symbol. I'm way more airy though. I claim Gemini is the most airiest of the zodiac. I don't know if that's, I've never read that. I just, all Geminis I know, we're just in the skies all the time.
That's a good thing, though, I think, because honestly, disassociation is a necessity for a lot of stuff. Like, and to be able to have an imagination and all that stuff and be able to run
Hmm.
with it, pretty cool. Like, I can't do that. I try, but I really can't. It's just not like yeah. And it's unfortunate because then I'm kind of in everything. Like, I'm experiencing everything. I can't take myself out of it.
And
So
see, lots of times I want to put myself in it because I leave feeling like I missed something even though I was there. Even though I was involved and I was there, I leave feeling like I missed out. Like, where was I? Because my head keeps going somewhere else.
that's interesting.
Hmm. And I also like wonder too if like I'm so imaginative and stuff like that because I always just had to play by myself. Like I never, like I was really good at pretend and imagination and still am. I think that's why I can write stories and all that kind of stuff. But I think that was like a trauma, not really trauma, but just survival because I had brothers who played with me, like rough outside stuff. But most of the time it was just me in my room playing. I didn't have anybody to play with me. So I just had to come up with stuff. And I did. I was a very imaginative kid. Like, still am. Pretty crazy imagination.
Children are very resilient. They
Hmm.
can go through war-torn countries, travel across, miles of whatever across borders to get out of their own countries. They can do a lot of stuff and still come out amazing human beings.
Hmm.
Funny how some people can go through those things and not come out okay, and another person can go through those same things and come out okay.
I know. It's really crazy how everybody's trauma response is different.
I think it's from generational trauma too. I think a
Ooh,
lot of
me
it
too.
is generational trauma already, and we bring that to the plate
Hmm.
already. Just
Thanks for listening to Holistic Wednesdays with Amy and Shelly. Love our content? Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Holistic_Wednesdays. That's Holistic with a W. And subscribe to our YouTube channel for extra content and live events.